Your daddy.
Hi everyone, welcome into Primetime TV show, and guess what? Primetime is unscripted today. If you were expecting unscripted women or Women Unscripted, it works either way. You have three of us here, Helena Trengata, and we also have Miss Mimi, and then myself, Barbara Marville Kelly. But we also are welcoming in a gentleman, and it's great to have you, Michael Banner.
Thank you very much.
Not Tanner.
That's right, not that. Thank you for asking me here.
Michael,
I feel like an unscripted woman already.
I know, see, right? So it's really great to have, you know what, we are unscripted today, and the one great thing about it is it's going to be so very organic. Michael's going to be doing a show later this evening at 7 p.m. only on WeBeam TV, and it's going to be a weekly show called 62 Who Knew. And the reason why we brought this thing together is because there's a very high percentage of baby boomers still out in the workforce, whether they choose to be or they need to be. And so we really felt that it was very important to bring this information to the airwaves and really kind of collaborate with one another. You can get a hold of any one of us if you have some comments to make. You can go on Primetime and make comments on Facebook. We'd love to hear from you. But I just want to go through my guests and just give you a little introduction. And my one guest, who has been on our show, I don't know how many times. I mean, really.
Lost count.
Helena Trengata. She's with Bellissimo Publishing. I'm working with her for several books, my entire book series called Life Empowered, Life Mastered, All My Secrets, and my husband will be doing his book called Master the Champion Within. And what I love about Helena is we nicknamed her a few years back called Tinkerbella because she flutters her wings throughout the community. She makes a difference, spreading her fairy dust for good. And we're going to show something that we surprised her with some information down the road here. We'll put up a little site that you can get a hold of her, and we're going to be talking about some of these things because you're not working because you have to. You are working because you choose to. One big reason is on Monday mornings, Helena rocks babies. Tell us a little bit more about that.
I had some cuties this morning.
I bet you did. I bet you did.
Once one of them was a little boy and he had his hair all up in a little, they had it all up, and the nurse said, well, this matches his personality. I said, of course it does. Yeah. So just, I love rocking my babies. I do that every Monday, and because of that, I also am the president of All Children's Hospital Guild, which is in North Pinellas. And I'm a big advocate for children.
I know.
And we've got to start them correctly. And if we don't start them with love, then really, these poor little kids are not going to get the greatest start that the greatest generation, many of us, were in that traditional two-parent home with a lot of love. And not just love from our parents, but love from our siblings. And some of these little babies aren't going to have that because they're not going home for one reason or another, and they may or may not be being with their siblings. So I work to support my not-for-profits. That's the reason I work.
That's very true, so that you can make your donations. And I think that is so beautiful. And believe me, she's out there hustling everywhere, from your new t-shirt line to your CBD oil and so much more, Young Living oils. And I think it's really great to be able to be an inspiration for other baby boomers out there that are thinking, 62? Who knew I'd be out there working still?
That's for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I talked to a young woman yesterday, and she was like, I can't believe all you're doing, and I didn't want to tell her how old I was. She was much younger than I was. I could tell by her voice, and we were having a little talk about her family and where she's going. She goes, "Oh, I just can't focus, and I start things and I don't finish." And I was like, get it together, girl.
They make medication for that.
They do, yeah.
There you go. Well, that's why I thought this would really be a great unscripted show to talk about these different things that so many people are going through and they really don't talk about it. So maybe we can raise a little bit of the awareness for you, and maybe you have some tips that you want to share with us. You're welcome to get a hold of us and share them, because I think collaboration, especially with this baby boomer generation that we all grew up with, I'm very partial to the generation. And I think maybe because in your book, A Gift from My Father, which has been out in publication. You've
Yes.
had many thousands of this sold.
Yes.
And Mike and I've actually interviewed Mike on My Chamber TV
Yes.
and talked afterwards. He's a real hoot. So I want you to tune into his show tonight at 7 p.m. But on a serious note, your book, when I read, he drove to our house to drop it off so I'd have it for the show today and to scan through this, and I couldn't believe everything we talked about is in this book.
Yeah.
And this was before I knew you even had the book.
There's nothing original about that book. If you had there really isn't. It's very light
Not
reading.
an original thought.
Yeah, there's not an original thought. But
Not anything to brag about.
truthfully, if you had a greatest generation dad or mom, because a lot of people forget the greatest generation moms were incredible too, but if you had a greatest generation dad, he brought you up with what's in that book. And
Yes,
they live by
absolutely.
a sense of guidelines and a sense of pride and
Yeah.
pride in our nation, that unfortunately in today's world is almost embarrassing to some people. But every page in the book, it's a small book, is just a little quip of something that Dad taught me, which is, when you talk to someone, look them in the eye. That's real. And he had no gray area about these things. If somebody wasn't looking you in the eye, they were lying. There was no gray area. That's just
That's
it.
the truth.
Holding, I think one of the things we talked about over the weekend is people are getting confused today between chauvinism and chivalry. And chivalry is almost dead. You're supposed to hold open the door for a woman. You're supposed to say please. You're supposed to say thank you. You're not supposed to curse in front of women. If you hit a woman, you're a special type of lowlife. These are rules
you
that
get
the
string them
greatest
up.
generation lived with.
Right.
And I'm really sorry to say that some of the subsequent generations or preceding generations somehow lost some of this honor. They're
And
great
how-
people.
I'm still trying to figure out how has this happened and what can we do about that?
A lot of people might not like this, but I know how it happened. It's the parents' fault. I don't care whether it's a dog. You bring a dog up with love, you get love for the rest of your life.
There's a lot of truth to the whole love thing.
There's a couple of generations of parents that quite frankly didn't look at their sons and say, why didn't you just open the door for your mother or your sister? Why didn't you do that? Or there's an older person walking in a restaurant with a walker, get your butt up and open the door for them. You're not on a walker. My
Exactly.
dad would say that.
Exactly.
And I'm very
My
proud
dad
of
too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
I have three
Yeah.
children, 37, 30, and 25, and they've been doing things like that since they're little, because I brought them up with the same rules my dad brought me up. And there's nothing wrong with that. Give your word, keep it.
And on that note, and we on our Women Unscripted show, we address a lot of this because we're all life coaches. Not that we know everything about everything. We're still learning. Life is a learning lesson. And what we do talk about are what we feel we can raise an awareness to bring back and bridge that gap to this generation, because once our generation is gone, we're gone.
That's right.
That's it. So if we don't do it while we're now breathing in the saddle, who's going to do it?
Did you say breathing in the saddle?
Breathing in the saddle,
Right, that's
alive
what
and
she-
well.
Barbara just made up her own cliche.
There is something original on Barb's book.
Barbarism? Is that what
Yeah,
it is?
barbarism.
Oh yeah, very good, like the Bettyisms.
No, you're right about that. You are.
Yeah, it just comes to me because when you see, I've had a chance to interview so many people on My Chamber TV, on prime time, and just being out on the street interviewing people and talking to people and just gathering and processing information on what kind of lifestyle they're living and how did they get there, what could have been done differently. And to be able to use this platform as raising the awareness, that's what my mission is to take the voice, bring guests on like yourself. I mean, who knew that this beautiful little earth angel here is rocking babies in the
Yes, that's
NICU
amazing
on
to
Monday
me.
mornings.
That's
To
amazing.
look at her, you never would guess that unless you would tell. I tell everybody because I'm so proud of her, and I hear the stories and all that. And being connected with All Children's Hospital,
That's amazing.
It is
It
amazing.
really is. Kudos.
It
Huge
is.
kudos.
It is.
That's another thing about the greatest generation. They gave a lot, but this is going to sound terrible. They didn't have a Facebook at that time, but they gave for the sake of giving.
Right.
A lot of people have forgotten that giving anonymously is probably the strongest giving.
Yes, it
And
is.
there's just, again, a whole generation of great people out there
Right.
that give, but they got to go on Facebook and tell everybody they did it.
I understand.
To me,
what-
that takes a
I
little
understand.
bit. I'm so happy they gave.
Yes.
Kudos to
Yes.
these people.
Yes.
But you don't give for the for the kudos of doing it.
No,
But
I understand.
You give because the people you gave to need it.
Exactly, and the giving without expecting anything in
In
return.
return, that's right. Yeah.
Because that just, I don't know, it puts kind of like a wedge there, and
Yeah.
like, well, I'll do this for you if you do this for me. And
But you never know. I mean, and I'm telling myself. So I just have a habit of trying to buy someone's groceries behind me. You know, some people buy Starbucks with the car behind them. Well, I buy someone's groceries, and I usually pick on someone who has little ones in the cart. You know, and the last time I did it, the woman was just stunned. And she didn't have that much in her cart, probably $30 worth. But you would have thought I had given her $1,000 worth of groceries. She was like, actually got on her phone and she said, honey, you'll never know what happened. So I guess she was getting her husband lunch or something and going to take it to him. And she was like, she was beside herself.
Yeah.
And that made me feel so good, you know. So I mean, I didn't write about it on Facebook.
you didn't even tell me about that.
Well,
You tell me
I mean,
everything.
you know, there again.
But
you
see,
know.
that's what
it just feels good.
Right.
Just
do it.
Yeah.
Just do
Yeah.
it. Exactly. I know. It's time to go to break. Oh, I didn't hear you. We're going to take a brief little time out. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, my name is Lisa Marie Kennedy, your real estate expert here in the Sarasota, Lakewood Ranch, Bradenton area. I spent years developing myself, studying the industry so I can serve you and communicate with you the best way possible in your real estate transaction. My phone number is 941-807-2054, or please visit my website at lisamariekennedy.com.
Hi, my name is Mike Banner, and in addition to being the host of the 62 Who Knew television show, I am also the president of Professional Mortgage Alliance, where our passion is helping seniors entering retirement purchase their dream retirement home without the obligation of a monthly principal and interest payment. Please call me at 727-224-3859 or visit my website at professionalmortgagealliance.com.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
Mimi?
Oh, we're back. Hi. Welcome back in.
Mimi knew. Mimi's all a little alert.
She just jumped right in there. I know. Hey, you've got to look right into that camera like she usually does. Say hi to Bill Hughes, Bill and Nancy Hughes out there, her
Bill.
breeder. Yeah.
You made this gal very happy, Bill Hughes.
Boy, that is sure. She's a generation in herself. So I just was glancing through A Gift from My Father by Michael Banner, and there's so much in here that we actually talked about. I had no idea it was in his book, but over time, over phone conversations, we just agree on so much on generations and the gap, what we can do to raise the awareness. Again, I know I keep sounding very redundant on that, but he just folded over, dog-eared some pages here of his favorites. The greatest generation has opinions.
Yeah, they do.
Touch on that.
Yeah, it kills me when anybody, specifically men, but men or women, how do you feel about this? Well, I understand both sides, and they argue for both sides, and when they're done, you go, I still don't get your opinion. Well, I'm really on the fence. Well, that means you have no opinion.
There you go.
Yeah, pick a side.
There you go.
Pick a side and be proud of it.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
There's a lot of, for lack of better terms, very weak people out there lately that just don't want to have convictions. And even if it's not popular, pick a side and stick with it and be proud of it.
I understand. Another one is, I love this one. The greatest generation learns from its mistakes.
Yeah. Everybody's so afraid to make a mistake today. It seems like, oh my God, I'm not wrong. I was this. I've had more failures than successes in my life. Yeah. But I also go by that cliche that's not in the book that you don't fail until you stop trying.
No,
so you keep learning, keep learning, and you just keep going.
Mistakes are good.
Yeah.
Yeah. How
do we learn if we
that's
don't
the
make
only way to
mistakes?
learn.
It is the only way to learn.
It's proven that how many failures there were with great people, that were very successful, but they failed many times before they got there.
And really, did they fail, or were they just climbing the steps to success? Really, you fail when you quit, and that's another old-fashioned, greatest generation 1940s belief that kids today, just not all kids, I'm not picking on all kids,
right?
But they just feel that any time a setback, it's such a terrible thing. No, it isn't.
And they dwell on that. They dwell on that. They hang out on that. They use that as an excuse. They drag that through how many years? The women. Oh my goodness. Suck it up, Buttercup, and move forward.
That could be another page. My dad would say, suck it up, buddy.
Yeah. No, it's
big
true.
Girl panties
because you know what?
Ooh, big girl panties.
Whoa, now we're really getting unscripted here.
Yeah, we have used that 100 times.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But I was getting kicked off the show there.
No, but it's true.
It is the truth.
It really is
true. And the
true.
the other one that you almost came to is there's a cliche out there that the last two generations really go by. You shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Well, I don't, I don't believe in that.
Yeah?
See, because I went backwards and I looked at the origination of the old cliche. And the cliche really is, you can't always judge a book by its cover. I believe in that.
Perception then in the statement.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can't, it's wrong to always judge a book by its cover.
Right.
It just is.
Right.
But the example that I use in the book, if you walk into a library, all the books have covers. And if you want a cooking book, the odds are there's not going to be a skull and crossbones on the cover.
Right.
Or something like that. So when I walk down the street or in the mall and I see a young person with purple hair and piercings coming out of their face and gold teeth and their pants down the crack of their what, I'm sorry, I'm going to have a bad impression. And now maybe he's a brain surgeon, but probably not. Mm-hmm. So we are judged by what we look like. We are judged by who our friends are. Mm-hmm. So you can't always do that.
No,
I agree with that.
You can't.
But this generation seems to have turned it into an axiom. It's always, you can't judge a book by its cover. Oh, yes, you damn can. That's why there's libraries.
Well, yeah, I do agree to that to some degree. I really do. The perception of people as well, and that comes right down to almost being judgmental, which it isn't up to us to do that. But I think when you get to know people, there are people out there that are doing with the this and the that with their body art, and I actually love tattoos. I'm a tattoo queen in the closet, right? Because I love art, but it's not for me. It's not for me.
My middle daughter has many, 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 many tattoos, and I've learned from her with many of her friends that have many, 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 many tattoos. And they're just some of the greatest young people I've ever met.
There you
from
go.
Nurses to doctors. But that's different. Again, you shouldn't always judge a book by its cover. But being judgmental, boy, this is going to get us bad phone calls. Being judgmental has a bad rap. Because when you walk over to somebody and go, my God, that's a nice t-shirt. You notice they never go, don't be judgmental. They only get like that when you say something they don't want to hear.
That is offensive.
I've never given a compliment to somebody and have them go, "You can't be judgmental. Who do you think?"
But let me ask you something, fellow baby boomer. Did
Yes.
your folks not say if you can't say something nice, don't say it at all?
Yes, they said that all the time.
Well-
And then my father would say, "Pull up your big girl panties and take a stand." That's
Take
not
a
exactly
stand.
nice.
And do you?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And and I want to, again, as I'm a public speaker in another topic,
I never
and
would
so
have
many
thought that.
times, I'll walk over to a speaker before me and go, "Really, you were running 15 minutes over schedule, and I got to listen to the last 15 minutes of your speech, and I just learned so much. You're a great speaker." Again, in 30 years, I've never had somebody go, "How dare you judge me?" But God forbid you would say to him, "You said something wrong." I'm being judgmental. There's this line that people
I
just
know.
can't take the
It just-
truth
I-
anymore.
Well, and that's part of it. But
Well, let's
Well, here we go.
let's go there.
We're getting this is where I get kicked off.
Okay, Women
This is where I
Unscripted,
get
you are,
voted off
and
the
you
island.
are outnumbered here,
This is where
okay?
I get voted off the island. Go ahead. Go
Well,
ahead.
I mean, let's face it, that we're giving, number one, you can't have a birthday party for one child without taking gifts and giving a party to the other child. I mean, that starts when they're little bitty. I'm talking about the baby of the family doesn't even know there's a party being had,
Yeah.
but we've got to do that. And it goes further up the ladder till you're at a softball game and the team loses, but they're all treated and they're all told that they're excellent, and they're not excellent.
No, they're not
And they may
excellent.
be
Losers shouldn't get trophies.
I agree.
Losers should just try harder.
That's exactly
Thank
right.
you.
They're not losers in life. They're losers that moment.
For
that moment.
for that game. But how are they
Right.
going to try harder when there isn't anything
Yeah.
to raise the bar?
No, I know. I have a 12-year-old grandson. Do I get to plug my children?
Of course.
My 12-year-old grandson, Alex, who's a great hockey player. And he played hockey a couple of years ago, and they didn't have such a great year, but he did great, and he got a participation trophy just for participating. They didn't win anything. And when we left the hockey rink, my son, his father, me, and him, he left the thing on the counter, the trophy, and the coach went, "Alex, you forgot your participation trophy." Alex went, "I don't want it." Yeah, I mean, because he was brought up to win. And you know what? This year, he's going to skate harder, practice
Sure.
harder. That's the right attitude.
Sure,
You don't
sure.
get a pat in the back for not. You get a pat in the back for participation. You should. Good going.
Yeah.
But a trophy for
what?
showing up?
Yeah.
I'm
That's
sorry.
wrong.
Nobody ever patted me on the back for participating.
Yeah,
And I
you-
turned out just fine.
You did.
I don't remember that either, way back then. No.
My dad, it's not in the book, but my dad said when you lose, you go over to the person that beat you, you shake his
their
hand,
hands, yes.
and then you decide later that night if you put forth the best effort you could and you still lost, you have nothing to be ashamed of.
That's right.
But if you go, that guy worked a little hard, he studied harder, he got a higher mark on the test, he tried harder if he tried harder than you, then he deserved to win.
Absolutely.
Just learn from that and work harder.
And that's the best advice that you can give. I mean, I'm still giving advice. My youngest son just passed an amazing test, Yale-oriented education that was paid for by his company, and it took him a couple of times to pass that thing. But you know what? That sense of accomplishment
Absolutely.
and beating those books into the ground and learning that so he can get these letters behind his name, which
That's
is very impressive to show what he knows. And you, as a professional in the reverse mortgage business, you really have to know your stuff in today's market
You
because
do.
there are a lot of people in all these businesses
Yeah,
out
a
there,
lot of
and you want to
competition.
stand out different.
Yeah, there's a lot of competition out there for everything. I mean,
But yay, you participated.
I participate. Yes, I'm okay with participating. I'm okay with as much as my personality is forward. In case you haven't noticed.
No, we
and
haven't.
strong.
Well, I was just going to say you need to hone up on your social skills.
Yeah. But I have no problem being in a room and sitting with people that are smarter than me, learning from them.
Oh,
And
I
that
know.
takes
I
age.
love that.
I think a lot of that is age.
I think so too.
Yeah, to walk out of somewhere and go, wow, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Seems you only get to that point at
Yeah.
a certain point in life. I wish I would have known that when I was younger.
You know what my husband is doing right now as
I
we
hate to ask.
speak? He is, he's not sleeping. John's in my ear saying he's sleeping. Usually he's here on a primetime show, usually the beginning of the month, but he's home studying. I go, what are you studying, sweetheart? You know all this. He goes, well, I'm just getting prepared for that next seminar or that next person I need to help get to the next level of their champion within. And it just, he's 80.
Amazing.
He's 80 and he's still studying, you know?
He's greatest generation.
Yeah.
He never stops getting better.
No, no.
I mean, when you really think about that, I mean, it really is astounding
Yeah.
what the greatest generation did. I mean, and again, it's today's generation, they're great people. They really are. But, you know, when you really think about it, the greatest generation came back to this country in 1945.
Yeah.
They defeated Germany and saved the world. They defeated Japan and saved the world. And you would think they could come back and put their feet up on the porch and say, we saved the world. Instead, when they were done, when they came back to this country in 1945, they built the infrastructure of the best country in the history of the world, in the history of history. You know, I mean, the first person to walk on the moon, greatest generation. First person to do a kidney transplant, greatest generation. First person to do a heart transplant, greatest generation. CFOs and founders of the largest companies on Wall Street, greatest generation. What a group of people.
Exactly.
I mean, and men and women. The greatest
Exactly.
generation women were right there making it happen with
Yes,
them. But
yes.
it's amazing when
Yeah.
you think about what that after they saved the world.
Right.
Didn't
right.
sit on their laurels.
And now we need to do it again.
And we are. And that-
Unfortunately, and guess what? We will, one person at a time.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
Let me tell you that today's, if any generation, of course, I tend to, like a lot of people, look at generations when it comes to wars. The greatest war generation is World War II. Then there was the Korean War generation, the Vietnam War generation, who were a generation of just unbelievable American heroes, and the only generation that this great country didn't treat well. But the Vietnam generation were incredible heroes. But you look at today's heroes fighting our war since 9/11, and all volunteer armed service. These are the greatest young men and women in the world, and quite frankly, fighting an enemy, I don't want to get too political, that doesn't go by the Geneva Convention or Red Cross. This is an enemy that puts bombs on babies. And yet, look at the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of volunteers. So this, and when they come home, they're coming home to a post-depression country that just got out of a depression a few years ago, just like our parents did in 1945 when they
Exactly.
came home. So this generation out there today, they might have, I mean, just staggering men and women. They may have the opportunity to be the next greatest generation.
If we treat them with more love and kindness
That's exactly
and
right.
professional
That's right.
respect, that
right.
if they come back with PTSD, that we actually help them with
That's
that.
right.
That's right.
Instead of allow them to go out and sleep under a bridge.
That's exactly right.
And we're not doing it right
No,
now,
we're
right
not.
this minute. You talk about opinions. I have some opinions on that.
You and I probably agree on almost all of that.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
and truly. These are the greatest heroes. Them and quite frankly, our police officers, our firemen, our first responders.
They put their life
These
on the
are
line
real
every
life
single day.
superheroes.
They
Every
are.
day.
They are real life
Yeah.
superheroes.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
truly are.
And I always add
John
in.
has to share the stage with them.
That's right.
Superman.
Oh, he's a superhero.
And,
You know.
and you know what? Even though they're not first responders, I add school teachers to that. Here, school teachers barely make a living in this country. You know, the garbage man and the plumber. Nothing against garbage men and plumbers. We need them. Make 3 times as much money as your average teacher.
Of course.
And today, the teacher is not like in our days. Today is a teacher, a second mother or father, a protector, a dietitian because they can't have peanuts. Or the teacher is everything today.
I hear you. Hold your thought. We're going to take another little time out. We will be right back after this.
Hi, my name is Mike Banner, and in addition to being the host of the 62 Who Knew television show, I am also the president of Professional Mortgage Alliance, where our passion is helping seniors entering retirement purchase their dream retirement home without the obligation of a monthly principal and interest payment. Please call me at 727-224-3859 or visit my website at professionalmortgagealliance.com.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
Hi, my name is Joe Stalteri. I'm one of the owners of Complete Care Systems. At Complete Care Systems, we do carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, tile and grout cleaning, tile and grout sealing, wood floor and laminate floor deep cleaning, as well as stripping and waxing of linoleum and vinyl floors, and a whole lot more. We also run daily deals and special, which you can find at CompleteCareSystems.com, or simply call Trisha up at 727-364-5158, and she'll answer all your questions and give you over the phone free estimates. Or she'll send me out to your home or office to give you an on-site free estimate. At Complete Care Systems, we don't cut corners, we clean them.
There we go.
And welcome back, everyone, to Primetime. Today, Primetime is unscripted. In case you haven't noticed, we're actually digging up a lot of stuff that I think is really good to just throw out on the table. And I'm sure you have opinions, whether you're being judgmental or not. We're actually discussing all this. Be judgmental.
Be judgmental, it's okay with me.
But I call it processing.
That was very political.
Yeah, right. I want to see what kind of reaction I would get from you.
I don't believe in political correctness.
Barbara Marville Kelly here, Helena Trangata, also known as Tinkerbella. Or I really should reverse that. You're more known as Tinkerbella than
Well, that's
Helena.
what I put now. I put Tinkerbella, also known as Helena.
I know, good for you. And we have Mike Banner, who is getting ready to launch his first show only on WeBeam TV, right here in Port Richey, Florida, right off of US Highway 19. We do a lot of shows here weekly, and we're excited to be able to really bring this globally. That's what we
Absolutely.
do. So it's exciting.
It
This
is
is how
very
we
exciting.
can change things.
It is.
We can make those changes.
This all came from meeting you on Chamber TV. Thank you.
That was the
All of this
craziest
came
thing.
from that. Isn't that?
was the craziest.
I
So
have
many
a
things
TV
have
show
come
starting
from
in
that.
an hour thanks to meeting you.
Aw,
coming on Chamber TV. And John.
And
You
John,
yeah.
John, and
Who'd
was
have
it-
thunk?
yeah, exactly. Was it Paul that got you on the show? Or was
no.
it Kara?
Palm Harbor.
Oh, it was Palm Harbor.
Skip.
Palm Harbor.
Skip.
We know where you're from.
Skip.
Palm
Yeah, Palm
Harbor.
Harbor.
I don't
Skip
have.
Alford.
Are you being judgmental about the way I speak?
Yes, I am.
I think she's being judgmental.
I'm offended.
Are you offended by that? No,
Not
is
at
that
all.
really what you... Oh,
Not
my
at all.
goodness. At least we can still laugh about
That's
it, right?
right.
And maybe
Laughing
could
is
care
important.
less.
It is.
That's another thing. Laughing. Nobody laughs at each other.
Oh,
anymore.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I
okay
know.
to laugh at our
It is.
differences
It
and
is.
our mistakes and our stupid things that we do.
You can't even
Just
do
laugh.
jokes. You
Yeah.
can't even do those jokes that we did way back when.
I'm going to at my show.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm coming
And
on.
if you're offended by it, really and truly, I don't care. Grow a thick skin and just laugh. I'm not offending you. I'm offending something that happened.
Right.
I'm laughing at a set of circumstances, not a person.
I know.
So many people get
I
offended
know.
when I do
and
my
this
public.
is what
yeah.
this is what is brewing the hate everywhere. It
Everybody
starts
says-
here, and then before you know it, it just plummets into this
It does.
riot or whatever
Oh my
it
God,
is.
stop taking yourself so serious.
Oh my
Really,
God! No,
everybody.
you're right about that. And
It's the truth.
Laughter, we need more of that, and I
Yes.
know we're going to get a lot of that in your show.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I hope it's not when we're looking at how many people are actually watching it. I hope that's not when we're laughing. but
That's not going to be it.
Well, if they find it enlightening, they'll
Yeah, I
be
hope
inviting
so.
their friends.
I hope so.
I think so. It's just a matter of really having some good content, and
We are. We've got some great people lined up, and the premise of the show is kind of cool.
Yeah, good. That's going to be exciting. Did I hear you say it's time to go to break? Oh, hi to Patty Ray.
Hi, Patty
Hi,
Ray.
Patty
How are
Ray.
you,
Hi, Patty
sweetie?
Ray.
Thanks for watching. I wanted to go ahead and put your little link, your landing page up, because Helena has her fingers in a lot of pies, but they're all good ones. In fact, she does a lot of research for me, and I didn't even know it. She got me started in the Young Living Oils years and years and years ago. But can we go ahead and put up Tinkerbella.net, John, so that you can kind of meander over what she has? You can go to that and see all the different things, like the t-shirt line you just recently did, which is doing very nicely. It has affirmations.
Oh, that's exactly what I like about it. You know, as a publisher, I'm all about your story. And with the Origami Owl, I'm all about your story, because I like to tell the story. And if you're somebody who likes to tell your story, then you can have something like this, which says,
Don't quit your dream. I love, that's your favorite one.
yes, that's
Don't
my
quit your
favorite
dream.
one because it's purple, number one, I love purple. And I know you do too, Patty Ray. And number two, don't quit your dream, because how many of us have done that?
I know.
Oh my gosh, I quit my dream so many times in my lifetime.
I have too.
And
I have
now
too.
it's like some people say to me, well, why are you doing so many of these things? Because I love it.
And because
I'm
you want
passionate
to.
about it.
And because you can.
I can make money for all children with this.
Such a great show. That's great.
This is the truth. I mean, really.
So it's sassy little shirts, tees for the entire family, and I have a pair of pants on you can't really see, but they say peace and love down the leg, a little pair of workout pants, and that's what I'm all about. Just that and health. I'm passionate about that because as this generation goes into their golden years, I found that
That sage stage, if you will.
yes, there's some challenges, and so we have to get ahead of those challenges
Yes, we
so that
do.
we can be healthy. And so I'm all about holistic health, and I'm all about the kids, and those are my sites. And John was nice enough. Thank you, John. And Barb apparently said to him, why don't you do that for
No,
her?
I didn't. I swear. I had nothing to do with that.
And John, thank you so much he got me Tinkerbella.net and put all my links on there, and so it doesn't all have to be scattered across the screen.
That's really why.
That's really why he did it.
But no, I think it's really good because it's like a one-stop shop. You know me, one-stop shop. And then you don't go on all, you know how you can really get distracted,
Yeah,
which is the
absolutely.
point of people going on all these different sites and everything. But this is really great because I've known Helena for a lot of years. She is one of my bestie of besties, and she really does her homework like I do, knowing the right products that actually work. And both of us, we won't recommend anything unless we've tried something. So
And this came out today. We have new releases all the time. So a line of children's tees, and it says, "Enjoy every moment of your life," and it's done in color on a little shirt. I realize you can't see it, and one of them says, "Believe you can," because we were just saying, they've got to believe that they can get that little bit better for that
Absolutely.
next game. And of course, Barb's and my prior favorite is always love, always love. And so if you can teach a child something
at that age,
by wearing a shirt. I mean, these are children's shirts for your child to wear, but maybe they need to teach somebody else there that's not getting those lessons at home.
that's really so very, very true because, my grandson, he goes to preschool. And I hear I probably don't hear all the stories, but I hear a few of them. And it's really sad to see because they learn from other kids, whether it's right
Good or bad.
or wrong or indifferent. And it's very sad what they are learning in as young as preschool. And my son,
a lot of four-letter words as well.
It's just crazy. But my son and my daughter-in-law are very good at effective parenting, which I'm glad to see that. They limit the pad, the iPhone, and all of that with them because that's where I think a lot of the disconnect is happening. It's just, even us adults, we get hooked up on this thing and we lose that face-to-face connection. And I think that's really one of the biggest issues that we want to raise the awareness. And I hear every now and again, they, whoever they are, probably people like us, getting back to basics.
Yeah.
Getting back to an old-fashioned handshake
Yeah,
as
that's the way
business.
it's supposed to be.
I mean,
Pressing palms, saying hello.
Yeah.
When somebody looks at
And
me,
making that eye contact that we
making
said
eye
earlier.
contact.
That's
Somebody
right.
looks at me and goes, "I have 8,000 friends on Facebook." I go, "You have no friends on Facebook." I mean, maybe you have few of your real friends.
Right.
But these other people
Right.
don't know you. You pass them on the street, they don't know you, but you tell them what you're eating for lunch every day. That's not friendship. And
know.
I love Facebook. I use it for my business. I just wish they would charge $25 a month to be on Facebook. 3/4 of the people on there would get off of it because none of them have
We-
jobs. They're sitting home doing this anyway.
That's a really very good point.
I wish they
because,
would pay for it.
well,
I
they're
wish it-
Facebook is supposed to be changing
I
things.
see the commercials.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Well,
a
I
great
just spoke
thing.
last night to a woman who said that she felt so disconnected by being on Facebook. She goes, I had all these friends and they all had such good lives and my life was a mess. And she said, I just unfriended everybody. And she said, my son said, what are you doing? And I said, listen, girl, they're not their lives, you'd love this, their lives are not all that in a bag of chips. Many of them
You're
aren't.
so much nicer than me. I would have told your friend they're lying. They're just lying because you have no way to prove it. It's Facebook.
Yeah.
They're sitting there with their six-pack and their underwear going, well, it's just great here. And they haven't had a job since 1988. It's Facebook. You just can't prove it.
Exactly. I mean, really, we can make fun of all this stuff.
It's the truth.
And you should hear John when we have these gatherings here at the studio. Oh my goodness, the truths really come out on what's happening on social media. And here's the biggest thing. This is my takeaway, and then I want to start talking about what's coming up in your show. And thank you for Tinkerbella.net. Check it out, and you can see all the great things that Helene is doing there. And from time to time, we do What's Your Story on Prime Time. And we'll have authors come in and talk about their books, up-and-coming authors. And
That's
so
your website?
You want to, yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, John did that.
John did that.
John's
What's your
incredible.
story?
John
I
is
know.
incredible.
He is.
And he just whipped it up just like that, I guess.
He says, he's in my ear and goes, stop. No, we're not. But
we kind of think John rocks.
I did.
But this is my little bit of a takeaway and you know that I've been dripping on you for a couple of years when my computer shuts down and I have to reboot that. And the biggest amount of stresses that I have learned from business owners, chamber members, even just people that aren't employed. It's the digital age. Rob Imperato, if you're out there, hello. Rob's going to be back on the show. He wrote the book, The Digital Age, and what it's doing to our kids, and the stress, and how we don't have time for all the concept changes that happen in our brain. My husband will give you the statistics on that.
I can't wait to meet your husband. I
That's
just learned
crazy.
about him from my sister before I got here.
Yeah.
You've never brought that up.
He's got all the stats, and then you wonder what's happening out there in the world today. And people can't get back to love. It sounds sort of like, oh yeah, well that sounds all that easy. Well, it is. It really is.
I agree with that.
But it's sad that we have to teach ourselves how to love again.
Yeah.
Sometimes it might come naturally, but sometimes, depending on what kind of a life we have.
Yeah.
Whew. So we've got the platform here. Women Unscripted, we're not anything like The View. We're actually the new View. So on that note, I'm going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about 62 Who Knew. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Mike Banner, and in addition to being the host of the 62 Who Knew television show, I am also the president of Professional Mortgage Alliance, where our passion is helping seniors entering retirement purchase their dream retirement home without the obligation of a monthly principal and interest payment. Please call me at 727-224-3859 or visit my website at professionalmortgagealliance.com.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
Hi, my name is Joe Stalteri. I'm one of the owners of Complete Care Systems. At Complete Care Systems, we do carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, tile and grout cleaning, tile and grout sealing, wood floor and laminate floor deep cleaning, as well as stripping and waxing of linoleum and vinyl floors, and a whole lot more. We also run daily deals and special, which you can find at CompleteCareSystems.com, or simply call Trisha up at 727-364-5158, and she'll answer all your questions and give you over the phone free estimates. Or she'll send me out to your home or office to give you an on-site free estimate. At Complete Care Systems, we don't cut corners, we clean them.
Hi everyone, welcome back into Primetime TV. Today, Primetime Unscripted, and it's been a great show so far, and I cannot believe we could be here for... Now that was unscripted.
Sorry.
Oh, that was great. Hey, give me a fist bump on that, girlfriend. That was great.
I'm sorry.
Hey, can you edit that one piece out so that I can post that out on social media?
I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness, that was perfect. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. That was great. But anyway, I can't believe that we have really, wound down to the last segment. But I want to really
wind down.
We're pretending. Michael's show's coming up, and when he told me he was talking about doing
In
a
less
show,
than 1 hour.
I said, do it. 62 Who Knew? I'm going to turn this next segment over to you, Michael. Tell us, what was it that inspired you to do this? We've had a lot of conversation that, kind of led to it, but you're doing reverse mortgages through your own business for how many years, right?
I've been a mortgage banker for 36 years, but about 10 years ago, got obsessed. Well, that's the word, obsessed, with reverse mortgages. It's a very misunderstood product. It truly is. It's a great product. At a time, it wasn't a great product.
That's what I heard.
That's why there is still a little bit of a gray cloud over it. So by emerging into that market nationally, I formed a school. I'm one of the few people in the country that is certified to teach certified financial planners in 50 states the correct uses of reverse mortgages. I'm approved with the Bar Association to teach attorneys. So I get to go to long-term care conventions and financial planning conventions and talk about reverse mortgages. And like we were talking about on the break, when I'm there, quite frankly, I'm seeing speakers so much more intelligent than me. Certified financial planners, long-term care providers, actuaries. I mean, I'm just learning from doing all this stuff. There I am. I'm a reverse mortgage expert. I'm proud of that, but just learning and learning. And what it really struck me, it was probably about 5-6 years ago. That's when 62 Who Knew was created, but we were in the middle of the Great Recession, so it really wasn't time to start a TV show.
Right.
But 62 Who Knew is not about reverse mortgages, so for half the world that hates them, you can still tune into the show. 62 Who Knew is about a topic that is so near and dear to everybody's heart. I mean, just everybody. Every generation when they approach retirement, and 62 is when you approach it. Should I take Social Security? Should I defer it to a later age? I know I'm still working, but how much later should I work? Did I keep up my life insurance payments? When you get into your early 60s, that's when you start thinking about retiring, your own mortality. And every generation faces a set of unique problems.
Sure.
That's just a
Yeah,
fact.
absolutely.
But this generation, the baby boomers, is facing something that no other generation has ever faced. And that's the fact that over the last 20 to 30 years, medical breakthroughs, technologies, science has prolonged our lives much longer than anybody ever anticipated. Now, this is a blessing, but it is a blessing with a double-edged sword. Because when you think of retiring at 62 to 65, and in fact, if you live to 62, 65, take good care of yourself. Not great, you don't have to be running marathons. Take good care of yourself. The odds are really damn good you're going to make it close to 90. Somewhere between
That's true.
88 and 90.
Especially women.
Especially, well, women live longer than men. We won't say why, because I can offend a lot of your women viewers. But women do live 5 years longer than men. That's just the statistic. But be that as it may, if you're going to retire at 62, and the odds are you're going to make it to 88, it's simple math.
Sure.
62 from 88 is 26 years. How many people listening to this great TV show have 26 years cash reserve in their bank accounts, you can live for 26 years without working and have a high quality of life. Well, some statistics say 1% of the country, some people say 2%, but whatever it is, the other 98% of us are doing stuff.
Doing stuff,
Longer
right.
lifespans is a double-edged sword. It's a blessing and a curse at the same time. So 62 Who Knew is about who knew about this problem.
Yeah.
Who knew that if you saved X in the bank and you were proud of yourself, and then you figured out how much you want to live on, and then you do the math and you go, oh, wow, look at that. I run out of money when I'm 81. But statistics say I'm going to live to be 88. So that's when many, many people in this country start practicing. And they start practicing things like, would you like fries with that? Do you need a cart? We see this every day in every city. And I have nothing but respect for these seniors that go back into the working world.
Sure.
I really do.
Sure.
Nothing but respect for McDonald's, Burger King, Chick-fil-A, Kmart, Target. They're bringing these people
Publix.
back in.
That's right.
Publix has been doing it actually probably longer than anybody. But maybe if there was some better planning 15 or 20 years earlier, maybe they wouldn't have to do that.
Exactly.
So 62 Who Knew is just going to bring on a plethora of people. I've always liked that word, plethora. And you have to actually look for a way to use that word because it's not a common word. So we're going to be bringing on a plethora of people, 2 per week, Mondays, 7 p.m. here on WeBeam TV, that are literally national experts across the country. We're going to bring in certified financial planners to talk about how taking your portfolio and your savings, we have to treat that differently so we can prolong it so you don't go broke before you die.
Sure.
Should you have long-term care insurance? Is it too late? That's also another misunderstood product. In-home care, let's put mom and dad in the home. No, let's leave them in their home where they'll live longer and bring in-home care. Should I have a will? Should I have a trust? Should I take my Social Security at 62? Or should I defer it till later years? I don't know. The topics never end. Health, travel, everything. Not giving up on what if you're 62 and you are capable of retiring and you just don't damn want to? You have a passion.
Sure.
You live it.
That's
and
right.
you keep living it. That's what's
right.
young. So the list is really endless. So 2 professionals per week.
That's
this
great.
week I'm very excited about our first 2 guests. Dr. Lisa Marie Kennedy, who is an award-winning real estate agent in Sarasota. And we're going to be talking about, quite frankly, the needs of a client when they're 60 or 65 is a lot different than the
That's right.
38-year-old
That's
that
right.
says, I'm going to be here for 3 years, I'll make some money, I'll buy a bigger house.
Sure.
Totally different.
Sure.
We're going to talk about the psychology of what seniors really need and maybe their last house. I mean, after all, this is Florida, the retirement capital of the country. So we do live in a special place when it comes to retiring. And my second guest is a man by the name of Mr. Mark Goldberg, who is a very, very well-known long-term care insurance expert. And a lot of people don't realize this, but the #1 reason seniors go bankrupt in the United States of America is some sort of medical event that breaks them.
Oh yeah, that'll do it in a heartbeat.
If they had proper coverage years before when they were healthy and could afford it
and could get
the
it.
premiums were cheaper,
Sure.
they wouldn't be suffering that in their 70s or 80s.
Sure.
So I hope to have 2 guests like that every year. The 62 Who Knew premise is really who knew that longer lifespans could carry this type of responsibility.
It sounds like you're going to have a show that is kind of like a one-stop shop where people can get a lot of answers on one show.
I hope so.
And really process the information because a lot of people don't know.
No,
They
most
just
people don't.
know.
No, I don't, and I'm in the industry.
And it's evolving and changing,
Yes.
just like the digital age is changing on
Exactly.
a regular daily basis. So what if you could get a reverse mortgage and perhaps Mike puts away your fears from the fallacies on how bad they were at one
That's
time?
one thing. I'm trying. I'm really doing my best because when I told a lot of my friends and co-workers that I was doing a TV show, they immediately assumed it was a reverse mortgage show. And will I bring up reverse mortgages? Probably, because it is part of getting older.
Well, it's a total picture.
Yeah, it's
a
the
total picture.
though, because with any mortgage, I said this on DeLynne's show, the other great mortgage show that moving forward that's on this great WeBeamTV.com network. We talked about that, and people, well, what kind of mortgage should I get? You shouldn't get any mortgage if you can afford it.
That's right.
Everybody, the younger generation, we leverage everything. That's different words for saying we're broke, we have no money. That's why we're borrowing. Nobody should borrow money if they don't have to.
Right.
Your car should be free and clear. Your house should be free and clear. This percentage of the world can afford that. That's reality. The rest
Sure.
of us have to work and make
Sure.
payments. But there's nothing glorious about borrowing money. There really is.
No,
That's
there
another thing the
isn't.
greatest generation understood. I remember
Yeah.
my dad going, I buy it when I can afford it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My folks did too.
Yeah.
It
Wasn't that great?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just,
Well, when we were kids, they didn't even have credit cards.
oh my
I know.
goodness, we
My
only
dad
I mean,
didn't have a
they
credit
got
card till
credit
the
cards
70s.
after I was like probably in college. That's
Yeah.
when they got a credit. I
My
mean, I
dad
don't
got
know.
his first card in his 60s or 70s, and I
Yeah.
convinced him because of an emergency.
Yeah,
Right, when they wanted to
exactly.
fly.
Yeah.
I mean, back then, I don't know if you had to have a credit card to fly, but
I don't know. Well, my dad flew. he
Well,
dropped
we're going to
bombs on
fly
people,
right
so I
now
don't
in
know.
about 20 seconds here.
right.
Now it's less, but I want to thank you all for joining us.
Thank
Tune
you.
in tonight at 7 p.m. for,
62. Who knew?
I almost forgot.
Almost
We did.
forgot. Who knew? Who knew you would forget that?
Who knew?
oil for that.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.